All right, welcome back. Happy Saturday morning. Well, mid-morning for me. I started talking about this earlier, about 10 minutes ago. So not terribly early, but the planes are flying overhead, and so I may have to do a little dance with the planes today. I'm gonna have to go ahead and do a filing of this. I'm gonna file this down some. Some of these smaller ridges will smooth themselves out and give me a better picture of what I'm really looking at. And it can affect how much I take off of an area. So I want to go and it may be exactly where I take off of an area. So I want to go ahead and do that. And I'm going to go ahead and bore all of you with that. So that's going to be the majority of this video. Well, it shouldn't take me 20 minutes, but you know, a significant portion of this video. Actually, I did want to show you this though. I started working on a different piece last night and wasn't sure how this would, you can tell it's a little bit shorter, but I wasn't sure how well this was going to turn out. But I really liked this back end here because it kind of reminded me of like a crow's foot or bird's foot or something like that. Of course, it would have been nice if there had been another one here, but you know, what can you get from driftwood? But then as I started working, it reminded me of like a little trumpet fish. You know what I'm saying? With the eyeball here, and this little snout kind of snorkel or something like that coming out. Maybe not, but then when I turned it like this, and I was approaching it like this, it reminded me of like a squid with, you know, shooting upwards with its legs coming out. So I thought that was a pretty cool piece. I went ahead and started sanding some of that down. I haven't decided how much of this I'm going to take off. I may leave that because you can see the differences here, the texture and patterning. So anyways, I thought you might find that interesting. Did get some of the inner, you can see it flaking off there. The softer inner vein of the wood. It's the only place I encountered it though was right there, so it's kind of unfortunate. It will make it look a little off here, but I mean that's just the way it goes. You can't help that. And so anyways, I thought that was an interesting piece. That seems to have turned out so far, so I guess we'll see. While I was waiting on the video for this to upload. So yeah, so we're just going to, let me turn this overhead light on because I can't. I'd rather see a little bit better. All right, I didn't need it when I started trying to make the last video because this morning anyways, my attempt, because I had more natural light coming in here from the door being more open than it is now. So one of the reasons why I go across like this is partially to help level set it. Because if I just go straight this way, it's gonna cut a groove into here. So I'm kind of going across this way to help get rid of some of the higher edges in each area. Like this one, I can feel right here. That's going to go down some. Whether it needs to go down some because this is just lower or because this is too high and needs to come down. That's kind of what we need to determine. See, that probably cut a groove in there, but yeah, right here. You got caught a little groove, but that's going to get taken down. So. Right. Now, if I really wanted to see what the level was like, then I would rinse this off and let it dry, but I don't really need to because I already know I'm gonna have to take off more material. Because I don't know if you can see how rough this is still, but if I had left it as it was last night, it would have been pretty smooth looking, but that's from the sawdust going into the pores and filling them, right? So it makes it look like they're more, it's more smooth than it really is. Okay. Sorry, I'm bringing it up so I can look at it at eye level. I forget what I'm doing. So this isn't bad right here. Obviously this will need to come down more because this needs to be thinner than this one. If you look at ours, it's pretty good, much going to be a pretty similar thing. Now some people, like my father-in-law, has these really big bony joints going on from years of manual labor outdoors, and so his look a little bit different than that. but my manual labor involves keystrokes on a keyboard, so and carving wands until I get my stuff, then I can start road marching again here. All right, let's look at this. Yeah, so I'll need to do something about these. Well, actually I may not need to do something about those creases. I mean, we have them in our hands, so I'll take a look at that. I don't want it to be too smooth in some of those areas. I may have to actually go in and make some marks to make them look more like digits. I mean, it's not going to be completely realistic. I mean, it's pretty obvious. Based on my skill set, it's not going to be completely realistic. But it doesn't really have to be to get the point across, right? Let me start taking this in a little bit, because I do want the nail to be slightly larger than the finger, I think. So I'm probably going to take some of this in too. I'm a little hesitant to do that right now because it's me and I'm paranoid. You know, I'm afraid I'll forget and go like this, and I've already reduced this, and it's just going to go snap. Oh, I guess that means you just got to get good, huh? Pay attention. All right, so take that down some. Okay, a couple loose ridges here. Not that bad, actually. I don't know how thin I'm going to make this. I don't know how thin I have to make this, actually, because of this nail. The nail's in pretty much already shaped a bit. I might add a little ridge on there, kind of like this, to further define it as like a fingernail, but we'll see. All right, got that going. Sorry. Let's take a look. So here I'm just trying to smooth more of those areas out, get a more gentle curve in it. The overall shape is pretty decent. So I'll start working on the things that matter a little bit less. Okay. Might want to take this down. It's a pretty hard ridge. I think let's go ahead and get rid of that. Okay. Let's roll. Okay. Not bad. I don't want to take off a lot of that. Come on. All right, now anyways, I may change my mind, but I'd rather do it gradually because, like I said a lot in some of these other videos, it's easy to take off, but putting it back on is a different thing. I mean, you can take some of these chunks here and grind them up and powder them up and then put it with some glue to make a filler like that that'll more match the color, but harder to do with big areas. All right, so here I'm actually going like this to start to create that ridge for the nail, right? But it's going to be a little bit more subtle. And the shape underneath here, the thickness of the finger underneath here doesn't really matter as much. And that's partially because the focal point is on the wand, is on the nail, excuse me. So, of course, it's on the wand, but. All right, now we got to do a similar thing here. There we go. All right. Okay. Okay, size just needs to come down just a little bit more, but it is starting to look more like a finger pointing, at least from this angle. Check here. Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna wait to take more of this down, but I know it's gonna need to. But I will start defining that ridge just a little bit more. I need to do it in line with the nail. So let's look this way. This needs to come down. I mean, part of it is visual. What part of the wand are they going to see? You know, like when they're pointing it or looking at it from the side. I mean, that's those areas you got to pay a little bit more attention to, because unlike the stories we hear about the Japanese that finish the underside of something as as well as they finish the top, then I mean it doesn't quite apply to a wand blank that somebody's going to do something with potentially. Okay. I'm debating on how much of this curve to add to give it that more of that, you know, I'm pointing this way. Because if it was completely straight, it would be boring. You wouldn't see. In some ways, it would be nice, but essentially, you wouldn't see any of the detail on the sides here, which kind of give it the depth that it does. I mean, a straight up wand that's just straight. If it's made to be that way, that's one thing. But here we've got an opportunity, at least I think, to turn this into a pointing finger wand. And I want to capitalize on that opportunity. So, but anyways, I'm kind of debating, because the more I take out from this center area, the more curved it will make it look. Even if this hasn't changed, right? It'll still make it look that way. So here, I would take this down to make it look just a little bit straighter. So we'll see, because I have to reduce the wand overall anyhow a little bit. In most places, I'm not going to do it too much with this wand. It's just going to be a thick wand for this nail, to keep the nail. So let me go ahead and cut these out real quick, because that'll probably be the end of the video, and then I can get this uploaded. And like I said in a comment, I just responded to. It was actually very sweet. Thank you. But no, don't stop. No, just the GoPro really likes to overheat. It's a GoPro Hero 12, and so it's not like it's an older GoPro or something like that that's been used and abused and things like that. This has strictly been done for these videos, and some on the hiking side. But there we go. It likes to overheat, and even when I'm uploading these videos to the phone from the GoPro, it still generates a fair amount of heat, and I have to have the fan on the GoPro, or it'll start to slow down because it's overheating. Since these devices don't have fans in them, they have a tendency to overheat and will slow down their processes. Kind of like your cell phone. When your cell phone starts to overheat, it starts slowing things down to reduce the heat, to passively cool itself like that. And the GoPro does the same thing. So I have a fan on the GoPro while it's doing that. And sometimes, depending on how hot it is here in this garage, I'll have to put the phone that I'm downloading it onto into the fan as well. Because even if you were to look at the temperature up here, it would be deceptive. It's deceptive in Hawaii, because you'd be like, oh, it's only like mid 80s, or it's only like 90 or something like that. But it just seems to burn so much more direct here. I mean, 80s and 90s in Maryland wouldn't have been, yeah, it sucks, but it's not that bad. But here, it'll get you hard. All right, so we're kind of at that spot here. I'll need to re-emphasize this probably with the file. That would be a better thing to do with the file, because it's already kind of shaped that way on this particular file, right? And so that's a pretty useful thing to do. My alternative would be to use this smaller one, but this is more for finishing. It doesn't really meet it has less chance of getting in all these grooves and leveling these grooves out like this will, right? So I'll have to do that next time. That'll be my primary thing, 'cause this needs cleaned up a little bit. But it's getting there. We'll have to take some of this down, I can see. Let's just go ahead and start marking this. You just take a little bit of this down to reduce the flaring going on there. And here, let's look on this side. So just come down. There's a ridge here that needs to get worked. that section of that. All right, let's look here. Got some ridging going on. Take that down a little bit. And I do actually need to take this down just a little bit because it's started to become way noticeable that it's not getting worked. But I'll disturb that as little as possible. All right, now I need to get this video uploaded so I can continue working. Ooh, that's a little bump. I'm not sure if I'm gonna leave it in there or not. Probably not, but we'll see, because I don't want to bottom this area out either. So I guess that really kind of tells me what I need to. Okay. All right, I'm gonna go ahead and get this video uploaded and get back to this, say, in an hour.